Hello, I'm Dr. Richard Harris, and welcome to Research Thursday, a 5-minute-ish hot take on some current-ish research. And the study we're going to be diving into today looks at one of the things that we all dread, and that is aging. No one wants to get older, although I just got told today I look like I'm in my 20s, so I'm riding high on that. I'm actually 37. No one actually believes my age. But that's because I have a wellness plan. So what does that do for me? Let's dive into what this study talks about. So the study looked at processed foods, our big time enemy. We've had numerous conversations about ultra processed foods and the risk of health. Well, this study looked at what did processed food intake do to our biological age. And so how do we measure biological age? We use something called telomere length. Telomeres are the end caps of our DNA. And as cells divide, those telomeres get shorter. And so numerous things are involved with our telomere length, including lifestyle, physical activity, smoking, and genetic factors. So all of these things can either help us have longer telomeres or hurt us. And we have shorter telomeres and we biologically age faster. Well, one of the main reasons you'll see telomere attrition, shortening of these telomeres, is through oxidative stress and inflammation. So one of the things we actually measure when we do evaluations on people, we measure oxidative stress. So we actually look for DNA that has been damaged from oxidative stress. And so that's one of the ways that you can tell if there's high levels. And we know high levels of that correlate with a shorter biological age. So we've talked about ultra processed foods before. These are foods that are high in calories, low in nutrient quality. They're hyper palatable, meaning you can eat a lot of them. They promote overconsumption. They hijack the appetite pathways and dysregulate them. That's why you'll eat a whole bag of potato chips when you're not hungry, but you're not going to eat some broccoli if you're not hungry, right? Unless you just super love broccoli. I do, but that's not most people. So ultra-processed foods are also been associated with hypertension, obesity, metabolic syndrome, depression, type 2 diabetes, cancer. That looks like the who's who of what is the most prevalent medical problems we have in society. A lot of that's linked to ultra-processed foods and, a lot of sugar-sweetened beverage and alcohol consumption. These also are associated with high intake of ultra-processed foods. All right, so let's dive in. What did the study find? And so they found that participants who had the highest intake of ultra-processed food, and these were 3 servings per day of ultra-processed food, were more likely to have a family history of cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and abnormal blood lipids. Well, this makes sense. We learn a lot of our eating habits from our parents, and that's what you see now is that a lot of people have normalized their eating habits because that's how they ate when they were younger. And this was the case for me. I grew up on fast food. And it wasn't until I got to college that I said, this isn't right. This isn't how I need to be feeding my body. And I really started to get interested in nutrition. So people who eat a lot of ultra-processed foods tend to be more sedentary, tend to have dysregulated lipids, tend to eat more fast food, have higher intake of sugar-sweetened beverages, so that's sodas. And then they get less fiber, less electrolytes, less magnesium, less calcium, less polyphenols, eat less fruits and vegetables. Okay, so the results of the study. People who ate more than 3 servings of processed food a day were 82% likely to have a short telomeres for their biological age or their physical age. So what does that mean? So you are almost twice as likely to have signs of biological advance or fast biological aging from high processed food intake versus if you don't have high processed food intake. So this is really interesting because it's showing that what we talked about in holistic medicine, that food is a signaling system. And it tells the body so much about the environment and it interacts so much with the environment. And so this study is linking high processed food intake with DNA damage. with a shortened biological age. And so that's why the most important thing we always talk about on this channel, the most important thing that you do every single day with regards to your health is what do you put in your body? That's the most important thing. And that's why we talk about just eat real foods. So how do we go about nutrition? Well, if you want to know more about how we approach nutrition, we talk about that in our wellness class. You know, our 5 pillars of great health really revolves around all of these lifestyle things that are the answer to the problem of chronic disease. So if you want more information about that, check the links down below. That'll tell you more about where you can find the 5-pillar system. And if you want to impact your biological age in a positive way, the 5-pillar system is designed to do that. And that's why I'm 37 and people keep looking at me like I'm in my 20s. I had to grow the beard literally so people would stop telling me I'm too young to be a doctor. That is literally the only reason I have facial hair. I've never had facial hair before until I got out of residency and people kept telling me I was too young to be a doctor, and this helped. So when I do shave, I look really, really young. And part of that is my wellness plan, taking care of myself, making sure that my telomeres and my biological age is a little bit going in reverse. You know, that's the goal, right? That Benjamin Button effect. All right, thank you for listening to Research Thursday. We'll be back on Tuesday with another study. Y'all have a blessed day.